porn is not just sexual. That term actually relates to torture.
And, you know, after working for him, you know, Puff, you think he the master of everything.
This is for them underground motherfuckers that like it real, real dirty and like it hard. Pause. That was a crazy one. What am I doing?
Ever since the exposing Diddy era started, fans have been wondering what happened to Diddy's assistant Fonzworth Bentley. Well, reports recently surfaced that Fonzworth had to escape Diddy much like Cassie did, and it was allegedly Kanye West who helped him leave. Fonzworth became an overnight media sensation back in the early 2000s as Diddy's personal assistant. However, according to Jaguar Wright, Fonzworth was actually Diddy's concubine.
What do you think Diddy and Fonzworth Bentley's real relationship was?
Concubine.
Now, Cassie mentioned in her lawsuit that Diddy had an assistant who helped him set up those freak-offs with male workers, and a lot of people are now wondering if that his assistant was Fonzworth, and then other sources are saying Fonzworth was also a victim because Diddy allegedly treated him like his slave. So what really happened to Fonzworth Bentley? And could he be the next person to follow a lawsuit against Diddy? Let's get into.
His name ain't Busta Rhymes.
Who gave you the nickname?
Tony De Niro. Actually, Puff's boy did.
So, to give you in context, Fonzworth came into Diddy's life when Diddy was going through a major PR crisis in 2001. Diddy, who was then known as Puff Daddy, was acquitted of gun possession and bribery charges in a highly publicized trial related to a 1999 nightclub shooting. Diddy was desperate for a clean slate, so he decided to rebrand himself as P. Diddy. And later that same year, Diddy stepped out in Santrope with this sharply dressed man holding a fancy white umbrella that apparently cost $700. This picture stirred up a lot of public curiosity because no one knew who the umbrella man was or where he came from, and while some people found it amusing, others couldn't help but feel uncomfortable, and they accused Diddy of humiliating this man in public. Finally, Fonzworth decided to set the record straight on Angela I's radio show and revealed that his real name was Derek Watkins and that Diddy's associate Tony Darrow gave him his new name. Fonzworth said he met Diddy after he moved from Atlanta to New York and started networking. One day, he randomly approached Diddy in a club, and while Diddy first ignored him, they eventually exchanged numbers, and Fonzworth texted Diddy practically begging him for a job.
Everybody know. I think the thing that everybody is having a hard time grasping is how that whole thing could have probably went down. But the thing is it was how fast he disappeared.
So, to give you in context, Fonzworth came into Diddy's life when Diddy was going through a major PR crisis in 2001. Diddy, who was then known as Puff Daddy, was acquitted of gun possession and bribery charges in a highly publicized trial related to a 1999 nightclub shooting. Diddy was desperate for a clean slate, so he decided to rebrand himself as P. Diddy, and later that same year, Diddy stepped out in Santrope with this sharply dressed man holding a fancy white umbrella that apparently cost $700. This picture stirred up a lot of public curiosity because no one knew who the umbrella man was or where he came from, and while some people found it amusing, others couldn't help but feel uncomfortable, and they accused Diddy of humiliating this man in public. Finally, Fonzworth decided to set the record straight on Angela I's radio show and revealed that his real name was Derek Watkins and that Diddy's associate Tony Darrow gave him his new name. Fonzworth said he met Diddy after he moved from Atlanta to New York and started networking. One day, he randomly approached Diddy in a club, and while Diddy first ignored him, they eventually exchanged numbers, and Fonzworth texted Diddy practically begging him for a job.
I just picked up the page. You remember the guy that traveled from Howard University to intern with Andre Harrell? I'm that guy in 2001. Please don't make me go back to work on Monday at the restaurant. He replied, come to 1396 3rd Avenue. I literally started that day training as his assistant. The rest is history.
After Diddy hired him, Fonzworth appeared on Diddy's MTV show, Making the Band. And that's when people started getting even more uncomfortable with this arrangement. Now it's almost impossible to find all episodes of Making the Band these days, and for some reason, MTV refused to show reruns. However, you can still find some clips of Fonzworth on the show, like this time Diddy threatened him over the phone.
Hello? Hey, what up?
I went to sleep. When I woke up, the whole house was clean, just like I asked for it to be. But I got a note right here from Babs. She broke out and went to Brooklyn.
It's taking you entirely too long to tell the story. This is your problem now. Good luck to you. And when I get there, everything better be on point.
Fans who are old enough to remember when Making the Band first aired have also said they remember how Diddy mistreated Fonzworth on camera. And then there's also the fact that Fonzworth told Angela, that Diddy was barely paying him for his job. I was making really good money in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Business that's good, though. That's, like $100,000? Yeah, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah. New York, and back then, 98. Like, that's a lot of money wild at a stage.
Yeah, 900, I was doing well, so you... No. And he wasn't paying that much, no way at all. However, Fonzworth quickly corrected himself, saying that Diddy wasn't paying him initially. However, as his position grew, he started earning more, not initially, but you get in, you get your hustle. And then you get it in, but anyway. But see, officially, Fonzworth's position never changed. He was always referred to just as Diddy's assistant. And this is why people are now speculating that Fonzworth started earning money by helping Daddy arranged those freak-off sessions in her lawsuit. Cassie said that Diddy had assistants who helped him arrange encounters with male S-workers by setting up the hotel suites with baby oil and Astral Glide, now Diddy's bodyguard Guan deal. Cassie's lawsuit was redacted to remove the parts about Diddy taking an active part in these freak-offs. Meanwhile, another interview with Gene surfaced where he said he knows all of Fonzworth business where it actually is down here in Atlanta. Now he's married with 2 kids. He just lives a quiet life now. But he should. Yeah, he should. He ain't saying nothing about me either, cuz. I know his business. His business, and know his business. And then on top of that, Gene also recently revealed Diddy allegedly broke his ex Kim Porter's nose on a yacht because she caught him with a man the same yacht she got her nose broken on, that somebody was doing something to him when they walked in the room, and it used a confrontation. Now, this article published in August 2005 says that Kim was left with a broken nose after the couple argued on Kim's yacht in Saint-Tropez. So in 2005, Fonzworth was still working as Diddy's assistant, and we know Diddy often took Fonzworth to Saint-Tropez, so there's a lot of speculation now that Kim caught Diddy in a freak-off with Fonzworth. However, it was around this time that Fonzworth started carving a path for himself in the music industry, and Kanye West gave him his big opportunity. Fonzworth first appeared in several Outkast videos, and he also made a cameo in Kanye's video for the new workout plan. Then, in 2013, Kanye invited him to work on his album. And Fonzworth is credited as a songwriter on tracks. He also later helped produce the track Ultra Light Beam from Kanye's 2016 album, The Life of Pablo. But see, Diddy allegedly couldn't stand to see Fonzworth becoming independent, and rumor has it that he blackballed his career, effectively banning him from the industry. However, a word on the street is that Fonzworth credits Kanye for helping him get away from Diddy. While Kanye probably didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, sources close to the situation have expressed that Kanye always felt uneasy about the way Diddy was parading Fonzworth around. So after escaping Diddy and allegedly getting blacklisted, Fonzworth moved back to Atlanta, got married to a woman named Fawn Chambers, and welcomed 2 children. However, according to Jaguar Wright, there's a reason why Fonzworth chose to stay in Atlanta of all places. Now he lives in Atlanta. He's married. He has sons. He's living his life. But how many, listen y'all, if you've ever lived in Atlanta, the majority of them are bisexual, gay men just married and gave their life to God, and your pastor, and download culture is still very, very, very heavy in the Black community. In Atlanta. It's funny because Atlanta's like a gay mecca. You would think that there would be no need for download culture, but down culture is thriving in Atlanta still. Either way, fans are now saying there was definitely something disturbing about Diddy and Fonzworth relationship, and they're hoping Fonzworth will come forward and reveal exactly what Diddy put him through. Someone said, "I always thought it was weird. A grown man following another grown man with an umbrella and wiping his face," and another person wrote, "Y'all remember Fonzworth started hanging with Kanye, and that's when Fonzworth started doing his own thing, and somebody asked Diddy about him, and he did the same wish you well speech he did for Cassie. Diddy never wanted even his own artists or employees to shine." But how do you feel about this whole Fonzworth Bentley situation? Do you think he'll ever speak out on his path? with Diddy? Comment down below and then check out this next story.